It's just before midnight on the 1st of July, 2021. Police in Falls Township are on the scene of the reported cardiac arrest of mother of 5, Jamie Beighley, in the new Falls Motel. A man who they've discovered on the scene with the victim is becoming more and more agitated.
This is 911. We just received a call from this number. Is everything okay?
Yeah, me and my girlfriend were drinking. Right now, she's unresponsive. I need help. New Falls End, room 29.
Falls Township, Pennsylvania. It's late on the night of the 1st of July, 2021.
Come on, please!
Can you get next to her?
I'm right here next to her right now. Come on, please, come here.
Okay.
Come.
Can you see if she's breathing?
It's not breathing. Come on. Come.
Sure.
1, 2, come on now, y'all.
Keep going.
Come on, y'all.
2, 3.
Come on, y'all, come on.
Going.
Officer Parness is first up the stairs.
We entered the room and we found a female on the floor, unresponsive.
She's almost completely naked except for her bra that's pushed up. And the officers were working on getting rescue breaths into her. As the resuscitation is going on, there's a male in the room that's screaming and kind of running around back and forth.
Come on.
Keep going. Sir.
Please, I'm here. We're here.
Alrighty.
We couldn't find a pulse rate at that time on the female. This male continued very frantic, very nervous and manic and animated, jumping on the bed.
He definitely was not helping us by any means.
The victim is 39-year-old Jamie Beighley, a Falls Township mother.
She lived in our township. She'd been here the whole time that I've worked here. I've had multiple interactions with her in the past. So when we got on scene, we immediately knew who she was.
She was a great person, a great mother. She was a single mother. So, raised me and my 4 other brothers, and we stayed in a little trailer, all of us.
My sister was like my main babysitter growing up. I was always with her. She never minded me tagging along. All of her friends loved me being around. She was like the silly, goofy kind of person, so everybody loved her. She was very fun to get along with.
But how did someone like Jamie end up in this condition at a place like the new Falls Motel?
I've been there plenty of times before that, so I knew what we were getting ourselves into when we went there. When you get a call to that motel, something's not right.
While the CPR on the victim continues, the officers start to look at the scene in a bit more detail.
This is a very small room. It's comprised of a bed, a small sitting area, and then a bathroom. And the room's in clutter from personal items that are scattered around the room.
There were items thrown all over the place. The bed was a big mess. There was a pool of blood on the bed. There was a table behind where the female was laying. There was food and stuff all over the place. Definitely was not a well-kept motel room.
There was blood coming from her mouth, from her ears. There was discharge coming from her nose or blood from her nose. There was issues with her pupils or her eyes that didn't seem consistent to the many medical emergencies or cardiac arrests that I've dealt with before.
But that wasn't all. The condition of the male in the room was also suspicious.
He had scratch marks on his chest.
He had cuts on his neck. He looked like he had been in a fight, for sure.
And she seems to have skin underneath her fingernails. This changes from just a medical call to something more nefarious.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against the court of law. You have the right to talk to
I didn't do anything at all.
At home, oblivious to what had happened, Jamie's kids were wondering where she was.
There was no food in the house, and I was calling my mom. Oh, God. I was calling my mom, and I was very angry. I was like, where are you? Like, we need food. And there's like voice messages on her phone of me yelling at her. And then my family comes in at like 8 in the morning, telling me she's in the hospital and she's in a very bad condition.
I got a very early call from my brother saying that Jamie's in the hospital. You have to get up here, basically. And when my brother said that, my body just gave out. I fell to the floor and I started screaming. I was screaming at the top of my lungs that this can't be happening. And I get there and I see her. She's on a tube. She has scratches and stuff on her face. She's got bruises. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know how she ended up here.
One turbulent aspect to Jamie's life was her domestic situation with the man who ended up being there when police arrived and found her in the hotel that night.
The man is well known to Falls Township Police. His name is Evan Smith.
A lot are essentially revolving around violence and domestic issues between him and Jamie.
Dennis O'Connell now came face to face with Evan Smith.
Just looking at his shoulders, his chest, his face, he looked like he had kind of gone through a meat shredder. It was astonishing how cut up he was.
Evan, your scratches look pretty good there. She wasn't trying to defend herself or get you off of her?
These aren't even all from, these are like,
I know.
these aren't even all from.
I looked. I had a good look. It's pretty obvious what's old, what's new. Okay.
Whatever.
Glowing red.
As Evan was
and
being
you're oozing
questioned,
blood.
the news of his
Pretty
arrest
big.
had
I'd
caught
say
the
probably
attention
from
of a particular staff member on duty that evening.
Once he was in custody, I directed the officers to secure search warrants for his person, to take photographs and DNA from him. Detective Coolin went to the hospital to view the victim and see if there's any evidence that could be collected from her. There was still some skin and blood that was under her fingernails that we were able to take. I also asked him to take pictures of her face because we believed it was a strangulation at the time.
We did see petechia around the eyes and around the cheekbone area and above the eye. So the pressure, the lack of oxygen, and the pressure of somebody just gasping for air can cause the blood vessels to rupture, and it shows small red dots or capsules in the eyes and around the eyes for a period of days or hours.
We were fighting and having rough sex at the same time.
Okay.
Pulling, pushing, and choking each other. And I choked her too much this time. And because it was like putting pressure and then stopping and then going again. And I think between stopping and going, there wasn't enough space in between.
The 4th of July, 2021, and I got a call that Ms. Beighley had passed.
I remember sitting there with my mom and my brother, and then I remember my older nephews, all of them walking in. And that was heartbreaking.
I thought she would die at 100 and I'd be 80-something years old and be able to handle it better. It's the worst feeling I could ever feel in my life.
I said my final goodbye, and they wheeled her out, and that was the last time I saw her. I knew he was a bad guy. I've always known that. But my little sister loved him so hard. I didn't think he could truly do that to her.
That's when we filed official charges of homicide.
The first time I walked into the courtroom and saw him sitting there, it was pure anger. Absolute anger. I didn't feel sad. He was sitting there as if nothing was bothering him. He didn't seem bothered by this at all. He didn't look sad. He wasn't crying. He was just sitting there.
The autopsy evidence was central to the prosecution's case.
Dr. Ian Hood did the autopsy. He noted that her hyoid bone, which is in your neck, it's a very pliable bone, was broken. And that takes significant force to do. It's not an easy thing to break, according to Dr. Hood. He also noticed deep tissue bruising. Her neck was bruised all the way down throughout all of her soft tissue on her neck, which was significant. Dr. Hood opined that she was struggling for her life and fighting for her life for the first 2 minutes that he was strangling her. After 2 minutes of substantial force, she would have been unconscious. And then it took, he said, a minimum of 2 more minutes of constant intense pressure to kill her, to put her in the state that she was. It could have been up to an additional 10 minutes, he said.
Another crucial piece of evidence came from one of Evan Smith's fellow prisoners.
One of the other inmates actually came forward and gave an account that Evan Smith had told him about what happened that night. He said that he found dating websites on her phone, and he confronted her about being unfaithful. He was angry at her. They had a fight the night before the murder in the motel, and he told her, if you come back here, I'm gonna kill you. And then he tells the inmate, and then she came back, and she brought me food, and I said, I told you what would happen when you came back. And he said, then I strangled the life out of her, and then I called 911 and made a story up that that we were having rough sex, and then I fled the police and led him on a chase. So he admitted to all of this.
At the conclusion of the trial, Jamie's family were in court for the verdict.
So finally the day came. He was found guilty of third-degree murder. Unfortunately, he didn't get first-degree murder, but I felt okay with it. He was at least found guilty. A very good friend of Jamie's contacted me and confirmed that he killed himself in prison on the date of her death.